Go live. We're live. All right. We are live. All right.
Nice.
So, I'm sure Heaven will be in 1 second, my most loyal viewer. But so before we started, we were talking about new jobs recently. You just are about to start a new job, and I just
Yes.
converted to a full-time from a contract position. And so I work in accounting, right?
hmm
And so I was seeing the invoices that the staffing company was sending that they were charging for me to work, like they were charging the company I was working for. And
Oh,
they were charging an 80%, like 80% of my take home pay on top, like on top. They were charging almost double.
wow.
I know. And then
Wow.
when they converted me, they charged them a 15 grand bounty.
Wow.
So for 6 weeks of work where I was employed with them, like through this staffing company,
hmm
I made like 7 grand or something like that. And they made 20.
Doesn't feel great, right?
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Infuriating.
Yeah. Just doesn't seem to make much sense.
Ugh.
But you're no longer working through them. So
True. Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't
but
my,
yeah, that
you
is
know, it wasn't my money.
as
Although,
yeah.
it says something about maybe what I could have been paid, right? For that seven
Yeah, what
weeks.
you some it says about what you're worth to the
Yeah.
this company that you're now working
Yeah.
for sure. That is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a wild delta in terms of, my return versus their return. Crazy.
yeah.
But anyway, congratulations on your new job.
Thank
Starting
you.
starting soon, or yeah, you
Yes.
said like in a week or so.
Yeah, next Monday is my
Nice.
start date. Yep, I'm going to be a para educator and literacy tutor, which is exciting. It's basically
Para
what I did last year.
educator. What?
So yeah,
That's not a term
a,
I'm familiar with.
a para educator is basically like a teacher's assistant in K through 12. So half my time I will be spent as basically a teacher's assistant in either kindergarten or first grade, and the other half of my time is going to be spent uh, tutoring those kids who I'm working with already in whatever class I'm in, but
Oh,
like
gotcha.
tutoring them in
Okay,
small groups for
cool.
early literacy. Yeah, yeah, it's exciting. I'll now actually be like in the school system. I was doing similar stuff last year, but not in the school system itself. So it's
Sweet.
exciting to
Yeah,
get that moving.
educators are overrepresented in the VBL. Let me tell you what.
It's crazy. I remember like everyone, whenever anybody would say their job, it was like teacher, teacher, it was yeah, wild.
Yeah,
I was shocked when I first got here.
Sukaba and Daddy. I think. Uh, is there?
There's another.
I think there's somebody else, right?
Yeah, I think there's at least one more. Um,
I'm certain somebody else said it. Who was it? Uh,
I
um,
think there was someone who was only here for a season who I mainly know from another league who did something in education as well, and I'm trying to remember who they are. Their username. Uh, but they were also an educator. Anyways, there's a lot of them.
yeah, there's a lot.
I wonder what that says about Pokemon and education. But
Yeah, I don't know. Um, Regardless,
hmm.
uh,
Oh, I think Miss Mag was
Oh,
someone
I'm
who's in
just
it.
not looking in chat. Yeah, yeah. Firefalls is saying like, yeah, there's a lot of us, and Pancake also apparently. So,
Oh, nice.
dang, excellent. Well, I think we've ran our mouths about nonsense for long enough.
Good, good.
I mean, not nonsense. The education
Yeah,
of
yeah,
children
yeah,
and the exploitation of labor. So, nonsense. Two of the most important things our society deals with. One or the other.
But it's nonsense compared to Pokemon. What we're
Exactly.
all really here for.
Exactly. So we got 4 matches we're gonna watch today. Yeah, we could have a teachers only division if Miss Mag comes back and Daddy doesn't leave. I think that what does that get us to 7 or 6 or something? I don't know. Close enough. But yeah. All right. So we're gonna watch. We got 4 matches we're gonna watch today. First thing we're gonna watch is Red Jolteon versus Fire Falls. This is the Red Jolteon's winning in. Well, it's winning in for both of them.
Yeah, and I think it's winning in and loss and out for sure for
Yes,
both.
yeah.
If
This
I
is like the
remember the stakes.
cleanest. This is like one of the cleanest ones that like don't depend on other players to get specific loss records or wins and stuff like that. So, yeah, all teams must have Oranguru with instruct on them in the teachers the tournament of teaching champions. Anyway, so this is game 3. This has been like the contrary set basically.
Yep.
Firefalls had huge contrary plays in game 1. Red Jolteon had huge contrary plays in game 2. Got Malamar got tangled haired when using superpower to also get
Yes.
a speed boost in game 2, which was sweet. And I don't remember whether game 2 or this game has Porygon also copying contrary. It doesn't matter, but yeah, either way. But it was funny for sure. I was like, dang, every Pokemon in this set has contrary. Hey, Electric, thank goodness you finally made it. You haven't missed anything.
Hello.
We've just been talking about the exploitation of labor and the education of children. But we've moved on to important things. So we'll go ahead and fire this up.
Yeah,
And
let's
we'll
go.
see what we got going on here. So the contrary leads
And right
for both
off the
players
bat.
again. Yeah,
Yep, contrary,
contrary and
immediately.
contrary.
And this the hair.
Yeah, tangling
The
hair
hair
is
which
an
could
option.
go. Well, it's just yeah, and it's a problem for Firefalls here. If
Yeah, to deal with.
for Malamar.
It would never have occurred to me. Oh, tangling hair is a downside ability for me to run because it's just, you just don't even think about it, right?
Yeah, of course. I would never. I would never
Yeah.
consider. Well, because you also have to consider Malamar as like a serious threat then, and then like I'm not doing that going into a match.
Yeah, it would not have occurred to me either. But I'll tell you what it probably would have done is scared me off of bringing Dugtrio in
in
game
lead
3.
and yeah, absolutely agree.
But
This
doesn't
but
matter.
This is why.
Yeah, because it's dying anyway. Doesn't matter who the Malamar targeted, because
Yeah.
the Dugtrio dies to side memento,
Yeah.
something
Self
never
mementos.
seen
So
before or since.
it's so cool.
Is there a -2 to special attack debuff in the game? Because I know there's
Yes.
Eerie Impulse.
Yeah, Eerie Impulse is
Yeah,
it.
but presumably Firefalls does not have Eerie Impulse on their team.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I was thinking Charm, but obviously it's boosting. It's meant to be boosting special attack, but so yeah, it's quite a sacrifice here for Firefalls. But,
does this not also have superpower?
yeah, it has superpower and Leaf Storm, but
Yeah, so
you know,
the attack matters then too. But
yeah, true.
in this case, yeah, Leaf Storm is better. and so you won the if you're Firefalls, I think you're pretty happy with that turn. You won the contrary war. Like they can't get the contrary up
Yeah,
anymore, and it's been
absolutely.
dominating the set.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Porygon probably gets Eerie Impulse.
yeah, but Porygon's probably slower
Too slow,
than
probably.
yeah,
Yeah,
Lurantis.
yeah. Oh no, not no superpower on this set. It was all
No
special.
superpower.
Firefalls.
Okay.
So just throwing out leaf storms, boosting up, charging my laser. Yeah, and I mean it's it's a 1-for-1 trade. The Swift Swim trace is nice too. 1-for-1
Yeah.
trade, right? You trade Doug Trio, which is a support Pokemon that was going to basically get to do two things. Like, if it had a sash, it would get to do one thing and then a second thing. And you're trading it for Malamar, one of Red Jolteon's primary damage dealing Pokemon.
You are just
I'd
now
make
in a
that trade for
tough.
sure.
Yeah. It's just the problem is the Pincurchin getting to set up rain
Yeah,
enables the
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 Overquill to go.
outspeeding overquill, and then like you have to basically have a way to you have to have a way to survive and kill it, or to get a good protect read or something.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I would say Firefalls makes a reasonable play here, right? Which is
Yeah.
switch out the Lurantis, find a better spot to get it back in, and start throwing leaf storms again, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, just gonna be a trade here, right? Or a sacrifice rather.
Yeah. The poison jab OHKOing is like really, I
It's
mean, it's
rough,
not,
right? Yeah, it's
yeah, but
definitely not a guarantee.
yeah. And because you like the Lurantis being out here under Trick Room, of course, but
Totally.
you, but it's not like you're gonna OHKO with Lurantis into Overquill most of the time. So it's still a very rough position.
Yeah, but on that turn, like the Overcool definitely going first because of the Swift Swim boost means that like Poison Jab, like you'd have to like Terra Steel or something, which I don't remember if we saw a Terra on Lurantis in a previous game, but Terra Steel would have been devastating for Red Jolteon.
Yeah.
But even so, like kind of caught in a bad situation when that once that rain goes up. Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah, you're
traded
you're
one
just
for
so
one, but
behind. And getting up the
just
Trick
pretty
Room
far
is
behind.
nice though. Maybe you can win.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
you can win from here if you're able to
yeah. You got four
pull
four
something out.
turns where you get to do important things first now.
Yeah.
So yeah. Terror Rock. So maybe could have lived on a poison jab, but the Zing Zap flinch, a thing I didn't
Yeah, it's
even know could
so
happen,
sad.
right?
It's so sad.
Is rough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's pretty game deciding for sure. Like not being able to move with your Lurantis. It's what you need to use to win under Trick Room right now. So
Yeah, I
that's sad for sure.
I don't know. It is definitely possible that um, if it if Firefalls had stayed in and Terror rocked, that the Overquill poison jab would not have killed it, and so could have just contraried again. I mean, it was at +3, but also it's
Yeah.
poison. So like maybe it's gonna kill the Overquill. I don't know, but a double up probably does. Then you don't have
Yeah.
Trick Room, so like, but you still have a Hitmonlee in the back.
Yeah.
Uh,
The only problem with that is though Pincurchin is sucker punching as well. So sucker punch plus
True.
poison jab probably kills, I think. But maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. So I don't know for sure, but it could be that Sucker Punch was into the Porygon on that previous turn also, because it
True.
was setting Trick Room. But
Yeah.
I gotta think it was probably a double up.
Hmm.
Regardless, the flinch is just
They do
devastating
survive
for
poison jab.
Firefalls. Yeah.
Yeah, Firefall says they do survive poison jab there
There you go. Yeah.
in calcs.
And now it's a 3v1, and
Yeah.
the poison is just dirty rub-ins at this point. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
And then oop, didn't mean to start it over, but yeah, once that Lurantis is dead, then Overquill could kind of just do it at once. Having Aqua Jet is nice in the rain there to just clean up that Porygon there in Trick Room.
Yeah. Great adaptation from Red Jolteon to recognize that Lurantis is the main threat and that Overquill kind of walls it really well. So, and also threatens it super hard. So, really putting Firefalls into a tough position, betting on the Lurantis when Overquill ends up being a really, really solid answer.
Yeah, and congratulations to Red Jolteon completing the now apparently commonplace 0-3 to 4-3 make the playoffs.
Yeah, very impressive.
Had 3 last season and 2 this season. It's just the new cool thing to do. Apparently, we had Camo as our other 0-3 to 4-3 this season.
Right.
But moving on to our second match here. We got Spinnerack versus Sukaba.
Is
Steel
Sukaba
still resisted Ghost and Dark. Steel would just still be too good. Like, it would be too good. Like, that was a good nerf 3 gens ago.
Yeah.
But
yes,
Terra would be even better if Steel still resisted Ghost and Dark. What were you gonna say about Sukaba?
Sukaba's playing for playoffs here, right? Like, Sukaba could miss if Sukaba loses.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, there were
so we know the stakes.
Crazy, infinite win and ins, basically. And sometimes it was win or Dream Crush. Sometimes it was... I might have it written in my notes from the previous week. Is Sukaba... might be the case, but I didn't make note of it specifically.
Okay.
But, yeah, so we're going to watch Game 3 of this set as well here. Sukaba was locked already when they played. So love the still take it seriously and still playing to win even when the stakes are mismatched or not super high. But this was a pretty solid set, right? Game 1. There was some body press nonsense that I was like, oh, it's going to be another one of these, which is, a good, reasonable thing to be doing in a relatively lower power, physically dominated metagame like our low tier board is, right? Iron defense and then just body press up. But makes for some just boring matches, weekly heat wise. So
yeah,
I was thrilled that
it's
this
fun
whole
the first
set...
time.
Yeah,
it was fun the first week.
A whole season of it.
For sure.
Yeah. So we had Trailblaze weakness policy for Sukaba, right, on the Carbank that we saw. We had multiple Trailblaze users to proc weakness policy on the Carbank. So we're going to watch Game 3 here, which I thought Sukaba was out relatively quickly. Got into a rough 4v2. LS, Beartick didn't even come this week. No Beartick. Is Beartick even on your team? Have you ever brought it?
LS, I'm with you. Beartick should have been on the thumbnail. I actually thought didn't make it this week.
I actually thought about putting Beartick on the thumbnail this week, even though Beartick was played in no games this week. I must have just missed it.
It's so impactful even when it doesn't come.
Yeah,
it needs to be there.
It's the mind games. Just being on the roster is enough to change team building. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start this up because this first turn or two is really strongly in Spinnerack's favor. Right, we have basically doesn't care about the speed drop, does no damage, takes very little from the triple axle double up, and just kills the Breloom turn 1. Does get some good, life orb information. I think Oricorio came to an earlier game, so life orb was already revealed here.
Yeah.
But
Rock Tomb was also a really interesting move there into the Sceptile.
so
I
I do like it. Yeah, and we just get a dead Carbink right away, which is, you know, Sukaba is just in a 2v4
Mhm.
with the two like primary damage dealers that he brought are now both dead, right? Because
Yeah.
the four that he brought to this last game is Frostlass, Carbink, Pachirisu, and Breloom.
Yeah. Both of the two pretty much setup
Yeah.
mons.
But back on the Rock Tomb, so I kind of do like the Rock Tomb, right? Because it's base 90, which is nice because of Technician, and the speed drop, getting it low enough that Frostlass can hit it with an ice move before it moves,
Yes.
and potentially you know flings its item or what something to let
Mhm.
Frostlass hit it. I do like,
I like it too. It's just interesting. I mean,
but
obviously, in
yeah,
retrospect, it's like switching makes that move really tough.
yeah, really
Like it
rough.
makes it
Yeah,
bad, and and it was really good from Spinnerack to recognize. I don't know if it was it probably wasn't a read of that specifically, but just recognizing that Sceptile was under threat and switching to a great switch in Duraludon there was really well played.
yeah, a nice switch, and then just bring the Sceptile right back in,
Mhm.
get the Carbink dead, and Spinnerack. I mean, my note is literally game 3, 4v2 looks tough for Sakaba. Probably not enough offense to close it out.
Yep.
And the very next turn, we see Terra flying Pachirisu into the what's gonna be a Terra Ground Revelation Dance. The Sceptile dies to the triple axle, so we're now in a 2v3.
And the
Pachirisu
Trailblaze.
gets the Trailblaze boost as well. So now both Mons are faster than anything Spinnerack is going to do, with the exception of prankster things.
And now
And
the game looks totally different
yeah,
because
and it's
Frostlass is threatening an Oko and Oricorio. There's no Terra to protect it. Pachirisu, I mean, you don't really know what it's going to do, but like it's tough to kill no matter what because it's Terra flying. You probably don't have any super effective moves into it, at least available easily, and
yeah,
it's
and
faster.
it's faster. It could very well have like Super Fang, something like that, right? Just to
Hmm.
be good damage into everything. It could keep trailblazing into the Oricorio every turn until a protect fails or something like that. Like, yeah, just that the Terraflying changed the game, and the triple axle kill changed it again.
Hmm.
And we're gonna get another like 20% or so. We see the Electro Web, so just piling on the speed control. Sukaba says, "I'm going first. Deal with it." We do see Rock Slide, which is a nice move for the Duraludon to have in this situation, right? I mean, super effective spread
Yeah.
against both is pretty nice, but you are going to have to take 2 hits every time before you get to do one. And as we just saw, it's only doing 35-40% to each of these Pokemon. Uh, just bulkier than you would really expect for either one of
Yep.
these,
For sure.
which is just showing off that like the Duraludon as a physical attacker is kind of underwhelming, and
And
also Rock Slide is a support move. You run it for flinches on fast Pokemon.
yeah, and now you've lost speed control.
Yeah,
There's no way you're not getting any of the extra value out of it. So it's just a way to do low amounts of
yeah,
damage.
mediocre spread damage, and hope that you can just bulk through the attacks of these two Pokemon.
Mhm.
And hitting the
And
burn
then you can
certainly
burn
doesn't
it
hurt. Yeah, and the air
and
slash
missing the
miss.
air
Yeah,
slash.
so like yeah, and the disabled. Like this is a brutal RNG turn for Spinnerack, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Will O Wisp considerably more likely to hit than not, right? But even so, it is 15% that Spinnerack did not hit, and then the 5% on Air Slash, 1 in 20, that misses, and then Rock Slide procking Curse Body to disable Rock Slide, brutal.
But I mean, at this point, you're probably, I don't know, I would feel horrible clicking Rock Slide after seeing that damaged Rock Slide, that burn Rock Slide damage after, anyways. It,
Yeah, I mean
yeah, I
at this
mean,
point,
Duraludon's just, it feels so bad
yeah,
now.
I'm just like happy I didn't switch the Duraludon out last turn to like reset the speed, because then whatever switched in would be burned, and like, I mean, Morgrim's not attacking on the special side really, so like it's probably got like uh I don't know, Sucker Punch as an attacking move or something like that, or Play Rough or whatever. Drifloon, I guess maybe, but like probably is. I don't. I think is
I
coming.
mean,
And
Drifloon and
Staraptor
Staravia
definitely.
both get, yeah, they both get O-code,
Yeah, and yeah, we get
I
the
would assume.
dead to triple axle, and Electro just get slow and just be sad,
Yep.
and Frostlass gets to just kill stuff. Crazy. What a
Yeah, just
turnaround.
no, yeah, I mean, I think you were right when you were saying Sukaba just doesn't have much offensive threat from Frostlass or Pachirisu. But the thing is, once Pachirisu Terra Flyings and can follow me, uh, any potential big threats, there's nothing that the Spinrat can do offensively, like nothing.
Yeah,
So you're
it was
left with
crazy.
this,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
you're
also
just
watched
left
this
with
one
this really
live,
bad.
which was crazy. It was super fun one to watch live.
Yeah, a really really well played turnaround by Sukaba, recognizing when he had to Terra and how valuable it could be.
Yeah, excellently done. The whole set was a good set, other than body press is kind of boring for weekly heat. But it's a good like run, like use it, like it's a good move. Run that good move. You just might not be on weekly heat that week unless your opponent does something cool.
Hmm. Yeah, it's so good in this format. Iron Defense Body Press is so good, but not fun.
Yeah, that's a good point Heaven's making. Staraptor switching felt like Spinarak was getting impatient, led to Staraptor getting a -1 speed and not actually getting to attack. If Spinarak had just like let the Oricorio go down to triple axle and then come in the next turn, um, although unless it was, I don't remember if the Staraptor was scarfed. If the Staraptor wasn't scarfed, it's still not
Yeah,
getting to
wouldn't
go
it just?
before either of these Mons anyway. So
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it
probably,
just dies.
yeah, it probably just still dies anyway. But
I mean,
maybe
maybe with an
it's a good
Electro
point,
Whip.
right?
Yeah, yeah. You actually,
Yeah,
you definitely give yourself a better chance because, like, I'd assume we didn't see Thunderbolt from Patchy, right? We just saw Electro Web as an offensive move.
yeah. Trailblaze and
So
Electro Web
Electro,
follow me. Yeah,
so Electro Web and Triple Axle can both miss. So by switching in, you have to miss. They have to miss twice. Whereas if you wait and take the free switch, like free turn in,
yeah,
they probably only have to miss once, and then you have a shot. So yeah, switching is definitely worse.
yeah.
Um,
And the 3 hits on triple axle is something like what? It's only like 81 or 82% to get all 3 hits, like something around there.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that
so
argument
yeah,
that could have cost a game.
yeah. And then
But either way, really
the
well played to
yeah,
Tsukaba.
yeah, totally right. Like Tsukaba just had the download locked in on these two generally frail support mons. I mean, I say Pachirisu is not that frail, right? We all remember the Draco meteor it lived,
Yes.
but I guess some of us probably don't remember it. Some VBL people were too young to have watched the Sejun Park World Championship in what 2014, I think, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Would have been
I mean, I
2 years.
wasn't watching Pokemon back then, but
Oh well, fair enough.
I've since watched it because it's cool.
72 is 3 hits. I was close in my my quick math of triple axle hits. Regard anyway.
Yeah.
Well done to Sakaba, and also well done to Spinnerack. Watch the whole set. I
Yeah,
mean, watch all the matches. They're good matches. Like, just watch everybody.
and Spinnerack really did play the start of this game very well. Like for Tsukaba to be down that much, Spinnerack had to have had a dominating first couple turns, which is
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so next up we've got Game 3 of Electric versus LS, which was absolutely chaotic, wild craziness. If you watch, you should, everyone should watch the video that Electric put
The
out.
scoop.
The scoop.
The scoop.
Total chaotic wildness. Electric absolutely playing their opponent more than the Pokemon in front of them. Kind of talking LS into like getting one extra turn so that Electric can go on to win Game 2 instead of probably losing Game 2. But yeah, watch the whole set. Crazy stuff.
Watch the whole video for sure. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great time.
I don't know why Beartick isn't in team preview here. It definitely should have been.
Yeah.
But
what's up with that, LS? But yeah, these are Mimi sets.
Yeah, they're doing some
on all
meme
the
stuff,
Pokemon,
which is crazy that they agreed to do it since both of their playoff hopes are on the line here.
Yeah, I think they said when they
do
were
it all for the
recording. I think they said when they were recording and playing it, they didn't know if it was a true win and in or whether or not the team that lost could still make it with other results. But it ended up being a true win and in. The loser was not able to get in.
Right. So we're watching Game 3 of this set. Game 1 and Game 2 both pretty crazy. Game 3 has a lot of the craziness of both Games 1 and 2 all combined into one, which was very convenient for me when picking games to watch. We'll go ahead and get this started up here. So we've got the Eevee and the Heracross and Hydrapple and Banette. So we've seen weakness policy Terra Ghost, right? It's Terra Ghost weakness policy.
Yes.
And Pokemon to trigger the weakness policy, and then Eevee is going to Baton Pass out, right? So
yeah, so it's Fling.
Salac
What berry
berry.
is it? Salac berry.
Yeah,
Fling
Salac
berry
is the
to give it the
speed
speed boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you assume that's what's happening if you're Electric here, of course.
And it is.
Since you saw Game 1.
The call of, and then Grumpig just uses stored power and kills everything. LS is like, no, stored power is not fun. Not a chance. Which, had stored power been on this set, and Eevee not come to Game 1, like if Eevee was only a Game 3 Pokemon and Grumpig had stored power, I think LS probably just runs away with this, right? Just like kill a thing.
Oh, for
kill
sure.
Kill a thing. But
yeah,
you spend your entertainment
destroy.
Equity where you think it's going to be most entertaining, obviously, right? And so on the other side we see Curse on a Ghost type and Infestation to keep the Heracross in here.
Yeah.
Huge damage on the Shadow Sneak, but not quite enough. Lunge doing very little, but what else is the Heracross going to do? Right? It's just got to be infested and cursed. It's going to die this turn pretty regardless.
Yeah, there's nothing for it. And we see Electric's main goal, not to win the set,
yes,
but to get the Curse Infestation kill with no other moves being used on the Pokemon.
Yeah, because Game 1 we had Infestation and Curse, but then the Clawitzer actually got the kill on a Pokemon, I believe. Like,
yeah,
did like 60% with Water Pulse or whatever to actually take the KO.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And
now LS is unfortunately left with an Eevee that can't do much.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have adaptability anymore because it's a ghost type. So it
25% to the Hydrapple and 20% to itself. Just because of the HP disparities, right?
Yeah. And a good Pokemon comes out, Mabostiff. I wonder what it could do.
Yeah, turns out the answer is not much. Yeah, so with the infestation here, Roar is nice, right? Because that clears the infestation. Even though they can't switch out, they are not taking damage anymore, which is nice. Get the Custap Berry knocked off. Decent damage into the into the Weavile there.
Solid. And we see Comeuppance there. Is that the first time we've seen it? This set,
I think it was shown before, but maybe not. Maybe we only saw the Destiny Bond previously.
Yeah, Comeuppance is a move I did not know existed.
Also did not know it existed, yeah.
For those of you who also don't know, it is you. First of all, you should watch the video already. But if you didn't, it is both. Well, it's both the Wobbuffet moves, right? What are they called?
Yeah,
Mirror Coat
and Counter.
Except it doesn't have negative priority. So if you're faster, then it just does nothing.
Right. Because it's not like Destiny Bond where it just is in effect until your next move. Like until you select a second move. And like travels across turns. But yeah, so LS has Pain Split, as we're going to find out here, as the only way to negatively impact Electric's HP bars at this point.
Yeah. Because
the
Mabostiff is faster than both of the remaining Pokemon. Yeah. So it can do nothing. It can never win.
Yeah, as long as LS the Clawitzer, coached by Electric, doesn't click Heal Pulse anymore, then Pain Split will not. Yeah, then the game is over, right? Because we've got infestations doing damage. Pain Split is not going to be able to get the KOs along with actual attacking moves. And in a sort of almost spiteful manner, Electric is going to just only use Infestation for the rest of the match. Right, and Hydrapple also has Recover, so Electric also has to not recover. And yeah, take one out with the Destiny Bond. From Hell's Heart I stab at thee. Finish it off.
that was a communicated LS killing LS moment between the two of them. LS saying literally lost to themselves and figuratively lost to themselves. So, what a set. Watch the video. It's great.
Watch that video. All three of those knuckleheads are in that video, just chattering away the whole video. It was pretty fun. So the last one we're going to watch, and even though we're only watching 4, we managed to still be 39 minutes in with one match left to go. So much for watching less matches means the stream is shorter. We're going to watch Game 3 of Daddy vs. Goose, which is another fun one. We had Daddy won Game 1 pretty convincingly. Goose wins Game 2 on a series of like good RNG going his way, right? Zing Zap miss into Blunder Policy speed boost, and then was it just Zing Zap a second time and the second one hit that paralyzed?
Was it Zing Zap? I thought it was
an electric type move paralyzed.
It was the electric type move that has like 50% chance to miss, right? That was Zap Cannon? Is it Zap Cannon?
Oh, Zap Cannon, not Zing Zap. Zap Cannon. Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, that is what happened. Goose got pretty lucky in Game 2, I remember. The specifics elude me, but yeah, Goose ended up lucking out, and Goose needed to, because that was Goose had to win one game to make it to playoffs.
Right. And yeah, Zap Cannon, not Zigzap. They're
Yeah.
There's so many Pokemon and so many moves, and they all sound exactly the same, and they're all exactly identical.
Oh, and the play rough miss.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
right,
what
and then play rough miss after all of that. Yeah, full paralyzed. Zap Cannon hits, paralysis, full para, and play rough miss all happen back to back to back to back. So
Yeah, a disgusting turn. truly, truly disgusting Pokemon-y turn.
sure, but Goose didn't want it to miss forever. He was just
No, yeah.
hedging against missing by running Blunder Policy. But regardless, let's go ahead and get this game 3 started. So we have kind of a real game 3, and that's the reason that I chose this third game. Is it's like a real fun game, right? Where interesting things happen.
Terra Ghost, good idea against a fake out. Also saves them from a Trailblaze KO.
Yeah, lives the Trailblaze, dies to the Rock
Although
Slide anyway.
Yeah.
Thunderwave miss. Getting a little payback there. Big damage into the Giraffe Rig, but you kind of expect it to live, even though it's neutral. It's got EV.
It did more than I thought it would. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I underestimated Passimian, but I figured Eviolite Giraffe Rig would take it a little better. It does huge damage considering it's just neutral.
Yeah, 63% is pretty nice, and then knockoff finishes it off. Goose in a pretty nice position here. Does lose his fake out Mon. The Passimian is going to get to, I guess, potentially a speed tie here.
Yeah, speed tie.
Both being 145 at +1. If they're both max speed, I don't know if they are or not.
Yeah. This is a really interesting.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is the Lucario is going to extreme speed this Passimian, but ignoring that, right? You've got to either hope for a speed tie or that Daddy is not max speed and is counting on the speed boosts to make the Blaziken faster, and then just has some bulk instead or something like that, right? Maybe you get to do 85% with close combat to the Lucario or something like that, or take the Blaziken down to 40%, something like that before the Passimian goes out. But ultimately, extreme speed is just going to kill this Passimian, and we're in a 2v2. Big damage on the Heat Wave there,
but getting up the Trick Room is so big here.
So nice, right? So nice, because Blaziken is just last forever now, right? Its speed is going into the stratosphere. It's going to be outrunning Regieleki here pretty shortly, and so it's just going last in Trick Room forever. With extreme speed into Bastiodon, Daddy is not so foolish. Yeah, he knows better than that. So, we do have, it is a fighting type, but Bastiodon is going to get to do something first, and it has Sturdy, so it's going to get to do 2 somethings. We've also got the Mischievous as well, so. And Ghost type, so who cares? I laugh at your close combat. Double into the Blaziken is nice.
And the close combat, does nothing then. And that's game.
Yeah, we're in a 2v1. Goose gets to attack twice. Yeah, triple protect gets Daddy out of this, kind of, but not really. I mean,
because then you still have to Oko the Bastiodon. Actually, no, it doesn't, because you have to Oko the Bastiodon. And you can't do that because of Sturdy.
You can't do that because of Sturdy, and also extreme speed and close combat. Neither one even touch it. Cannot do damage to this Terra Ghost. So to either of these ghosts. So unless you got Shadow Claw, which. And the body press just kills it, and Goose gets it done. Doesn't even have to rely on. I mean, did have to rely on the RNG to get the first win, but then wins the second one for real and just earns his place on record rather than differential. So
Really good end game maneuvering by Goose for sure.
Yeah, can't believe it. A body press made it onto Weekly Heat. I apologize to everybody.
And a really fun, exciting last set from Daddy.
From Daddy, yeah. Who I suspect will still peek in from time to time and maybe take a peek at some old reviews from time to time, maybe in a season or two. And I suspect we have not seen the last of OMG It's Daddy.
I would love that.
But certainly as a primary antagonist and official oldest member of the server, I think will probably be more of a oldest emeritus type status, which makes me the oldest member of the server. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, Shadowclaw Omega Crit that bypasses Sturdy and kills 2 Pokemon. That's a move, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And Lucario definitely has it.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Awesome. Well, that does it for the Weekly Heat regular season. Thanks to all my guests I've had this season, which I'm sure I would forget one if I tried to list all 7. So I'm just not going to list all 7. We'll have probably a week off. Lots of people were wanting to. Yeah, there you go. Brutal Swing with Parental Bond. That's Electric found the.
That's how you do it.
Several people were mentioning wanting a content week. I would be way down for that. If there was this discussion of a live exhibition next Monday, we'll do a Weekly Heat exhibition. Anybody that wants to do that, send me a DM or tag me, and we'll see what we can make happen. Any parting thoughts?
Steve, can I just give an honorable mention to
good point.
Steve's
yes, honorable mentions.
Cramorant.
Yeah, Cramorant was pretty excellent. The rest of that match was not that exciting, though, if I remember correctly. Maybe it could. Yeah, it should have been like a check out this crazy build. But I just didn't think about it. I do have other honorable mention stuff that I wanted to mention. For the most part, it's all these Pokemon that are in the thumbnail here. The unkillable Sliggoo, Braff playing really solid Protect the Queen with Scyther in Game 2 of the Braff versus Pancake set, and then also Feint and Vacuum Wave from Pancake at the end of Game 3. Excellent stuff. Watch that whole set. If some RNG had gone a different way, I think Jordan versus J-Star would have been a lot closer, or a lot less close, rather. J-Star kind of got to play on easy mode a little bit because of some bad luck on Jordan's behalf, but regardless, still a good match. Scarf Articuno was awesome to outspeed the Inteleon.
Yeah, and at least Jordan didn't end up missing playoffs because of it. But
True,
really bad luck in Game 3. Really bad luck in Game 3.
Yeah, Vigoroth Metronome was crazy. Keith versus Ray. It was excellent. Also, Terra Normal Explosion from Regirock in that same match. So watch that one. Watch all of them. They're all good.
Yeah, I can't believe Ray used Taunt. Illegal. I know. Yeah.
Not illegal.
Talked about, but...
Definitely legal.
100%
legal.
100% legal.
Barnosa played a really great Game 1 versus Samax this week as well. Maneuvered a really strong end game into a Trick Room with Golurk to clean it up. Samax just had nothing for it. What are my other notes? Your boy versus Camo. Your boy had like 4 different things to deal with a Anger Point Primate lead, and Camo still won.
Crazy game.
Yeah. Game 1 of Heaven versus Poppin was absolute stomping by Poppin. Totally just ripped through him. If you want to see some absolute slaughtering, watch that one. And yeah, Steve's Cramorant set was nice, excellent. I should probably have been on the thumbnail, but the battle was not that great, so it didn't get written down in my notes, so that's why it's not there. So I apologize to Steve's Cramorant that had a Barraskewda in its mouth eventually.
Yes. Just I don't think we've actually said the set. Like Cramorant was, I'm sure you all saw it, but Rocky Helmet, stockpile, full physical defense, like full HP, full defense, Cramorant, and in a closer set it would have shined even more, but it shined plenty enough in one of those games at least. I remember it was a really really cool thing to see.
Yeah, that's excellent stuff. Any other thoughts? Important moral lessons, predictions for the future. Anything you want to leave the people with?
I'm gonna win the league. That's my prediction.
Ooh.
But really, have fun, excited for playoffs, and excited for content week. I hope people put some stuff out there. I know I am trying to, will. So I hope other people do too. It's an exciting time to make content, and there's time for it. It's a great time. So
Oh, excellent. Well, I also would love for some good stuff to come out next week. Look forward to that. If you don't bring Bear Tick, you lose. Important moral lesson. James is the real winner. Thank you very much, Electric. Always run Infestation. Oh yeah, Pikachu did get a KO. Nice. All right, we got something coming from heaven.
Nice.
So look out for that. Alrighty. We love you all very much. Peace. Even Daddy loves you this week.